Welcome to Podtendo, a Nintendo podcast, where they analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games.
Hey guys.
Get out of here, you don't know how to play.
Introducing the Pokemon trading card game for Game Boy. You can learn all the secrets and strategies you'll need to become a true Pokemon master trainer, rated E for everyone.
Ha! A Thunder Punch combined with the paralyzing attack move makes Electabuzz arguably the best all-around Pokemon in the game.
Limited edition card inside. Gotta catch 'em all.
Hey guys, welcome to the Podtendo podcast. Now, as fate has it, we did this show. It was supposed to actually come out in 2 weeks. So original recording, we were going to do Twilight Princess Part 2, kind of get that bit more into the overworld, some of the first dungeons. That'll be coming out in 2 weeks' time, so we're just going to flip the shows. Because today happens to be, as fate has it, we almost had a Pokemon game release on Pokemon Day. So happy Pokemon Day. Now, you were seeing Pokepia, where you play as like a Ditto girl, maybe in like a Animal Crossing world. Seems kind of cute. Also, we're seeing the release of Fire Red and Leaf Green today, so that's pretty exciting. So they're OGs. I think we're in the 30-year anniversary of Pokemon this year, so happy Pokemon Day, happy 30th anniversary. Today we're doing a fun show. We're going to talk about the Pokemon cards, which are over 30 years old, so it's pretty exciting. So we'll do that today. We will probably come back. We're probably going to be playing these like up gens, right? These Gen 1s, the Leaf Greens, in a few weeks, but obviously we switched things around, and it was fun. Just a quick change, and I could say happy Pokemon Day on Pokemon Day. So funny how that works. So happy Pokemon Day. Enjoy the trading card game. We will be looking at Fire Red and Leaf Green, so that's pretty exciting with those releases. Talking more about the 30th anniversary and going from there. Awesome. So enjoy your show today, and you'll get more Pokemon shortly from Podtendo. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to the Podtendo podcast, where we analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games. You can be joined by your co-host, Mick, and I'm joined with
Tyson.
I feel like those are awkward ways of saying joined with. I apologize. But we are a review, retrospective, pop culture let's play show, and that's what you're doing today on this numbered episode here on Podtendo We're looking at a game. It'll be fun. That was our introduction to our podcast. Hooray. It's a Pokemon game. Hooray.
Yeah. Well, we had to squeeze another one in here somewhere, and we're like, what better excuse to play Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy?
Very
Game Boy Color?
It is Game Boy Color, yeah. Better put that disclaimer. You can't just play it on your regular Game Boy, but it might have worked on your regular Game Boy. I can neither confirm nor deny that rumor, so.
Yes. No, it gets complicated after the GBA. But
I was doing some cleaning, actually, and I have a basement full of toys, and I had a Game Boy, and one day I threw... What game was it? It was a Pokemon... No, it was a Game Boy game. It wasn't Tetris. It was something else. The Conker's Tales. So there was a handheld Game Boy Color game, Conkers, and I've heard it's pretty good. Like, in terms of kind of Zelda-like... it's starring Conker. It's kind of adjacent to Conker's Bad Fur Day. I might have purchased it while I was doing research for that previous game that we just played. So I was playing it. The little tiny screen of my yellow Game Boy Color brought a lot of pain to my life. It's very tiny. It doesn't look very good. I kind of hated it. I don't know how we played Game Boys in our lives. Oof, man. Oof.
Oh, I know. That's like the Game Boy Color is just like... Oof, because it's not like backlit screen yet. It's just like, Dang, this is a struggle.
But like the amount of time we'd throw into those games, and if you got a good game on that system, the amount of time you dumped into it. We had this game as kids. We actually have a physical copy of the Game Boy trading card game. That's the game we are playing today. And I remember as a kid, I sat and I beat the whole thing. You can kind of cheese it a little bit with the save system. But I sat on my little Game Boy Color, my little tiny pixel screen. I beat this game once. So much better on the Switch online, because you can save, rewind, make different decisions. It's a much better experience.
Yeah. If only there was more games on that site. So
yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like Nintendo, we're at the point where this podcast, I don't want to like just emulate everything, and I'm like not rich enough to buy every game. I just can't afford $250 for every GameCube game that you fail to give us some other form of. So And I just don't want to, like, so I'm limited to what you give me. It's sad. There's just not more. But also, I don't know if there's that, like, it's not like they're hiding a bunch of Game Boy Color games from us, being like, you'll never get the good ones. You just have to play Quest for Camelot. No.
Yeah, it's like there's like some games that could easily just be forgotten. It's like they don't need to be on here, but it'd be nice to have some more heavy hitters.
Sure. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was
Like
my little.
more Quest for Camelot, Quest
Yeah.
for Camelot 2.
You know what
more
I'm
questing.
You know the one you're seeing. You're like, oh god, why does that exist? So yeah, that is funny story. I just actually had that experience where sitting and playing through a Game Boy just for a couple of minutes. I was like, nah. Like, I didn't even get to screen. I didn't even start playing the game. I barely even got through the little intro, and I was like, I don't like this experience. It's not really what I'm going for. So, bigger screen. But Pokemon trading card game. I don't even have the notes pulled up. That's crazy. We've been talking for forever about the actual game and actual stuff. Crazy stuff. So, clipping along with Zelda, numbered show. Another Zelda show next 2 weeks, and then back with another game. Well, that's our lives, eh? So Pokemon trading card game was developed by Hudson Soft Creatures. It sold 3.72 million copies. Makes sense. Pokemon, Game Boy, people loved it. It was released December 18th, 1998 in Japan and April 10th, 2000 in North America. How Long to Beat has this game at 12 hours to complete and 30 hours to get 100%. eBay pricing and a copy of this game physically for $50 to $70. And where to play an OG cart, Nintendo Online, or an emulator. But if Nintendo at least gives you access to a game legitimately, I say it's fine. I think it's even the base. Is Game Boy base online, or is it like the advanced one?
I think they're both online, but one has the expansion packs. Now, what's included in the expansion packs, I am not sure. I know it's the GameCube.
Yeah.
Maybe N64.
That's
and maybe Game Boy Advanced.
So is this... Yeah, so this would be considered a... it's showing a classics. So yeah, NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy might be included with just like the cheap. So for $25 for the year, you can play this game. That's half of what an eBay guy is asking. So that's pretty good. Huh.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't need to play this game a ton.
Uh-oh.
But it's a good time. Unless you're like literally just like fishing for a specific card.
Yeah, but like also, should we be buying GameCube controllers, like add-ons, and N64? They're only $70, and you can like play $30 for this. Go away from this page. You're podcasting. Okay.
Focus.
Yeah, sorry. Don't let me buy stuff. That's not what this point... I realize this podcast has just become me and Tyson are kind of rich snobs, and we rub it in our face how we can just throw $250 on these old games, but that's not what we're doing today. What we're doing today is we're talking about Pokemon, and you're going to like it. But what we're going to do, instead of traveling back to the North American date of April 10th, 2000... let's go back in time a little bit further and actually look at the development of this game. So we have to jump into our time machine, which means December 18th, 1998 is our destination today for our Wayback Machine. We'll ask the age-old question, do we want to live there? So our top TV shows were ER, Seinfeld, Frasier, Friends, and X-Files.
A lot of... I recently just started rewatching all of Seinfeld, so I think I get it now.
Right? Yeah, it's pretty solid. Yeah. There are rough. Like, are you past into season 3?
I'm on like 6.
Yeah, but around like 3 or 4, you start hitting just like, there's like a streak where you're just like, this is some of the best TV. Like, they are just so dialed in with these jokes. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
And some of the classic episodes actually happened way later in the season than what I thought they did. Yeah. I was like, interesting. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So,
and times. On a Friends note, I actually heard that Friends was once originally designed apparently as a Courtney Cox vehicle. So she was the girl from, was it Dancing in the USA or something like that? Born in the USA with like Bruce Springsteen. Dancing in the Dark. Anyways, she was yeah. So apparently they were like kind of like pushing her to be a big star, and they gave her like the Friends was supposed to be like kind of her vehicle, but then somehow Jennifer Aniston also ended up being one of the most beautiful women on the planet, and they just kind of like dominated. And I was like, huh, that's very fascinating that there was like the clashing of there. Anyways, other top cartoons you gotta watch from this time are Pokemon, obviously, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Batman Beyond, and Animaniacs.
Yeah, excellent cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back already.
Well,
Just for the cartoons alone.
yeah, I suppose. Is Pokemon good? No, I don't think Pokemon's good.
But this is like you only get like a snippet of Dexter's Lab. So
Yes.
like when you get an opportunity to be like, if I could go back to when they were making Dexter's Lab,
And
I'd
get
be
all
so
of it.
happy.
That's fair. Yeah, yeah. Imagine the summer, or you could just have like a Cartoon Network or something like that. You had access. And it was just like Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Johnny Bravo. The days you would just lay and do nothing. On WWE at this time,
I'd be happy about it.
Oh,
I eat
very,
so much
yeah.
cereal.
WWE at this time, you could from November 15th, 1998, we saw Survivor Series. It was a year after the Montreal Screwjob. Apparently, The Rock won the WWF Championship.
Oh, okay, so this must have been his first win.
I think so. I think it was his first, leading into WrestleMania 15 that following year, like the following March, where he fought Stone Cold. So Stone Cold probably wins the Royal Rumble coming up. I think he's a heel, maybe? But it's like the start of The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like you could go back in time and watch the entirety of Rock's like major rise in popularity.
Yeah, just how it becomes this like pop culture megastar eventually, right? This is the birth of him as probably a racist caricature or something like that. Yeah. Movies around this time. Bug's Life was in theaters, and if you waited a week or two, you could see Disney's giant, mega, super awesome classic that's going to bring down the house, Prince of Egypt. You could watch Patch Adams, You've Got Mail, and Mighty Joe Young. Cool.
That's okay stuff. I mean, Bug's Life's all right.
Yeah.
Prince of Egypt, I didn't watch it as a kid and went back and watched it and was like, holy smokes. This is some of the best animation I've ever seen in my entire life. What's going on with this movie?
Well, this was, I forget what runs in parallel with Prince of Egypt, but there was like 2 movies developed and Disney threw all their money into Prince of Egypt, which was a flop, but then their like B production, whatever came out this year, was like a big hit.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's like the story, but yeah, it's one of those like because they just threw so much money in this. You probably go back and like Prince of Egypt, you're like, wow, amazing. And then top video games that came out specifically in December of 1998. We have Turok 2. I don't know, there's like a extra thing, I forget what it's called. Baldur's Gate, Mario Party came out, Resident Evil 2, Grim Fandango, and Half-Life. Oh, and also Ocarina of Time.
Jeez. Yeah, definitely going back. Like maybe not Turok 2. But these are some of the greatest games
Seeds
made
of
around
Evil?
this time. Yeah, I think so.
But there was,
I shouldn't talk ill of it. I've never played it.
you liked the first one.
I did.
Yeah.
We actually both did. Maybe that's a rabbit hole we go down to if we ever need some filler.
Speaking of a rant, I've started toying around with the idea of looking into Dino Crisis. Apparently Dino Crisis is just Resident Evil, but what if the zombies were dinosaurs? And instead of going into the next screen and they couldn't chase you, they then chase you. They like know how to open doors and jump over fences. And there's this constant threat throughout the game. And I was like, interesting. Okay. Maybe Dino Crisis is a game we look at some point.
Yes. There's a lot of those fun little niche games. I'm probably going to make you play some Parasite Eve at some point. But we digress.
Yeah, sorry, I muted myself so I could cough, and then I'm gonna talk because I was still muted. But we'll go to the development details of this fun game. Now we know what the pop cultural landscape looks like. So, the development details of Pokemon Trading Card Game. It was co-developed by Hudson Soft and Creatures. Creatures' official website described their work on the game as planning and game design, card design. Tenutsu Isahara, I think just Isahara, founder of Creatures and designer of the card game, is credited as one of the game's producers. Hudson is not credited anywhere on the game's package, cartridge, or title screen. However, the end credits list them as the game's developer. Although Pokemon Trading Card Game features most cards from the first 3 sets of the Pokemon collectible game, 2 real-life cards are absent from the Game Boy Color version. Electrode from the base set, and Ditto from the Fossil set. The cards were exclusive as it was difficult to translate their tabletop effects to the video game engine. But there are some replaced by game-exclusive cards of the same Pokemon. The Electro card was later available in the Japan via the online card shop. The game features cameos from President and CEO of the Pokemon Trading Card Company, Tezuka Isahara. Wait, I thought you were the president of somewhere else. As Mr. Isahara and musician Tomoki Amarukani. Okay. Under the stage name Umakami. Japanese names are hard to say. The game was released in November 1998 and was released in Japan. Was released in 1998 and released in Japan on December 18th. That doesn't make sense. Under the title Pokemon Trading Card Game, 1 month before the tabletop. Oh, I see. Version debuted in English. Okay, neat.
There you go. You can get a preview of the soon-to-be biggest phenomenon in the world.
But it must have been obvious out in Japan for a while before this, right? Because they developed the game with like the 3 sets of cards already laid out. So obviously,
yeah. That's just the there's
name.
Obviously like a Japanese and then English translation later.
Yeah, sure.
I could go on a side tangent, but I won't.
Okay, no side tangents. It was set for release, a 1999 release in North America, but was pushed back so the team could work on Pokemon Stadium 2. The game's original release was with a promo Meowth card. We probably have that card. It was released
we do.
Definitely do. We could talk about that at some point, because I have all our Pokemon cards in a binder. That's fine. It was released on the Virtual Console in 2014. The Pokemon trading card game sold 607,193 copies in Japan by the end of 1999, becoming the 20th most bought console game of the year in that region. It would go on to sell an additional 1.5 million copies during its first year in North America, and receiving mostly positive receptions from critics, earning a 81.25 average score from aggregate review website Game Ranking. Often called an addicting, fun to play, and praised for the mechanics. There was a sequel released in 2000 with some updated features, but I don't want to make you sad by going through them. Aw.
Yeah. It was pretty well received. I remember when it came out, everybody thought it was like pretty hot because the Pokemon card game was pretty like once that hit, that thing was like a bombshell of, if you found a place that had cards, you talked your parents into going back and buying every single one you could get your hands on because they were so rare. Yeah, no, good times. I know. The only thing I was going to say with the cards was in Yu-Gi-Oh, because I partake in that every now and then. There's like the OCG, which is the original card game, and then the TCG, the trading card game. I think the TCG, the trading card game, is like the American equivalent, and then the OCG is like the one in Japan, where like there's different rules, a different set, there's different cards, and then they release a set usually first, and then they translate it and refine it. And usually there's like some weird quirks. So I wouldn't be surprised if like the Pokemon game's exactly like that.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Actually, speaking of, in our time in Japan, we found ourselves in a couple card shops at one point. Like, their cards just didn't seem like they were that rare. Like, they had a guy in a display case, and it was like, I don't know, $4 a card? But they had, like, a couple different Charizards. Obviously, Japanese versions of the cards, right? So, like, they must just be mass-produced or something, or not as rare, hard to find. But, like, there was just tons of, like, high-level cards, would I assume? That I remember looking at them and being like, I could invest a couple $100, buy out this shop, and just go home and, like, be able to flip them. But now, I mean, because they are Japanese cards, do people want a Japanese Charizard? Probably not.
People will take them as a discounted version in North America.
Yeah, I mean, I'm turning $4 into 40. I'm not like I'm 10. Well, that's a 10x your money, I guess. But like,
yeah, or it might be like turning and what the card would regularly go for, like 40 or maybe 100. It's like maybe you're getting 10 or 15.
Yeah,
maybe.
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would assume it'd be like pretty, because you like they're not playable. But I don't know. There's Pokemon's weird.
Yeah.
I know that people say that like they can't get a card anywhere, and I'm like, I know I can go buy a bunch of cards right now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it's crazy to me.
No.
Maybe I'm just like missing out on this opportunity to become a part-time scalper and be a scummy person. But I'm like, no, if I don't want it, it sits there.
See, look at that. We're not buying stuff. We're not becoming scummy people. We're good people on this podcast. Let's look at the controls. So the controls of the Pokemon trading card game. This is a lot like a Pokemon game, but not like it at all. That's a very accurate way of describing this. Yep, you move around the map with the directional pad. You interact with the world. You can explore one of 8 gyms, fight other collectors, complete challenges, and build the most powerful deck. The menus are a bit old-feeling, but once you kind of figure them out with their functions, it's not too bad. After each battle, you are rewarded with opening packs of cards from the first 3 generations of cards. It's addicting to collect and find and build a deck using strategies throughout the game. And you can go to different libraries and they can tell you really basic stuff. Or you can go online and find like templates and build super powered decks. And you're like, ah, perfect, great.
Yeah, I kind of got to know what you're looking for, though. Because typing in Pokemon trading card game, Game Boy, you got to be specific there.
Well,
you're not going to get the information you require.
If you do like base set or, base jungle fossil, what's the best set, the decks you could build from these sets of cards? There's a couple pretty standard. I mean, early on, because the game is kind of not well thought out, they just like did random things. They didn't really like build a strategy and balance it properly. So there's just broken cards and there's good cards. It's plain and simple. You get a bunch of good cards in your hands that are like high attack for low energies. You can like wreck everyone in this game, right? So yeah. And it's not like the AI is super. Honestly, it seems like they just sometimes get lucky, and you're like, well, that's fair. Yeah. As opposed to being like crushingly difficult, and they have cheating cards. See, side tangent again about Yu-Gi-Oh. That's why I know we were talking about maybe playing one of those games. Like the Yu-Gi-Oh games are busted. Like they will sometimes just cheat. Okay. And they'll just like they will always have the starting hand or whatever. This game, like you could go up against one of the hardest characters in the game, and you could just like roll over them. Oh yeah, because it's like I've had apparently they just got bad cards. That's true. You do get unique random sets because I've had battles where a guy puts down his one card, a Charmander, and I was like, oh man, he's gonna get a Charizard. And like as I slowly build up my Magikarp into a Gyarados, nothing. He just is like sitting there, nothing. Oh, finally puts like one fire energy on Charmander. Oh, now my Gyarados is done, and then I beat him. And I'm like, you were the boss of the fire gym? Huh. Seems like a pretty lame strategy. So yeah, it is neat and unique that you do get kind of new experiences every time you play someone. So that's good. So first memories of Pokemon game. Because again, we had this, I played it. I loved Pokemon as kids. Pokemon with colors. Pokemon Stadium. Pokemon toys from Burger King. Pokemon on my TV. Pokemon on the silver screen. Pokemon in card form. I was going to save the trading card stories for cultural significance. Since we were heavily involved in the first 2 or 3 series of Pokemon cards. So I'm going to leave like that section. We'll talk more about like our remembrance and how we remembered the Pokemon cards at the end. But just specifically this game. As for this game, I know we probably got it from the rare card store that came with the game. I know we probably got the rare card. Yes, we have the promotional Meowth. Hooray. I did figure out the menus and completed the game once as a kid without a guide. I've played through it a few times. I feel like it kind of holds up as like a card collecting, deck building, easy RPG. I recalled some cheesy strategies with some terrible AI, and you should have fun with this game. Cool. You?
Yeah. I remember this game coming out. I remember the Meowth card. I don't think I played a pile of it, but I definitely remember it being around.
Sure, and it was like a double-edged sword where the beginning tutorial in this game, kind of terrible. right? And you're like, I don't know how to build decks, and I like Pokemon cards, but I didn't know there was game, right? At no point were you ever like, man, we should like put a deck together and play this game. It was always just like, sort the colors. I have Rattatas.
Yeah. Put them in order. I think I played a little bit, and I think I lost my Machamp once.
Sure.
And I was devastated and never played the game ever again.
Okay.
I learned my lesson on gambling children.
Oh, yeah, sure. I could see that. Yeah, but it is one of those ones where it just, yeah. We never played it as kids, so getting into it. At some point later on down the line, I definitely was like, oh, I'm going to actually like sit and grind through. And I understand the strategy. And you have to take and subtract cards, and then you can better your decks, right? Like, I do kind of remember going through all the kind of learning mechanics, learning pace as a kid, right? Playing it for a bit, losing. Oh, I can change my deck. Oh, getting some more cards, modifying. Oh, I can get rid of these, these useless trainer cards that never seem. Why don't I put more water energies in my deck and just overload with water energies? And like, oh, there are some choice evolutions that you can kind of cheese the game with, right? So it's fun. You can kind of learn organically, but the beginning, I don't know, 30 minutes is really bad. Like the tutorial that you can't skip, I don't like it. I don't like being told to like evolve my Goldeen into a Sea King and put two and you like get a, oh no, you have to put the not water energy but the psychic energy on it so you can use the duck. I'm like, oh god, it's stupid.
Yeah. Force tutorials can be a pain, but I'm sure as kids that was a key point in our understanding because we didn't know how to play the game.
No.
So without it, we would have been lost. So just kind of relic of the time. But yeah, definitely like I wish just always give us the option to be like, can I skip the tutorial? It's like, yes, I do.
I mean,
figure it out.
Yeah, this is like early on in video games. We just started adding text, right? We're almost from like a generation of like, oh, there was no text. You just have to figure it out. So we can now add text to our games. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's forgivable. But on to the actual story of the Pokemon trading card game. Welcome to the world of Pokemon trading card games. You are a 10-year-old boy, which means you're a prime candidate to explore the Pokemon trading card game island and see if you can defeat all 8 gym leaders, stop your rival, and become the Pokemon trading card game master.
Yeah. Any questions?
So many, but let's continue. So, number 1, you go to Dr. Mason's lab. You start off in Dr. Mason's lab. You have to survive a long, boring Sea King tutorial before getting to pick one of the 3 starter decks. Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle. I believe your rival shows up and he's like, I'm going to pick the one that's strong against you, and then we'll battle. And then you're free to explore any gym you would like.
Yeah. Pretty good times. It's standard stuff for the start of the game. I like that there's kind of a rival or whatever. It's a good job keeps it interesting. Yeah. But basically, as soon as you like kind of like are left to just go wander around, like you kind of like seize your oyster.
Yes.
You just go do whatever the heck you want to do. If you want to go grind out some fire cards. What deck did you start with, if you remember?
I believe I usually always start with the water deck. Because I do like the Squirtle, Wartortle into a Blastoise, right? If you can hit that combo, Blastoise has a power. You can just put unlimited amount of water energies. So with a Squirtle build, Dugong Seal, right? I think for Dugong, you get like a water, 2 waters and a colorless. So any random color, you can get like a 50 power ice attack with Aurora Beam. And then Gyarados is my other one I like. In the second form evolution, for 3 or 4 water energies, he does like 30 or 50 damage with a bunch of health. So that's typically how I will like start this game.
Got you. Yeah, I was kind of torn between like the Bulbasaur route or like obviously the Charizard route.
Sure.
I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go Charizard as I always do.
Okay.
Not as like doesn't have like just like for the because you got to at this point. You're like, come on, it's hilarious. It's like iconic at this point. So I'm playing with this card.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, that's just me having experience. I think the first time I beat this game was with the Squirtle deck, and I kind of learned like the Dugong Seal strategy and I was like, oh, that's a pretty like solid base level, right? So for 3 energy cards, 3 turns into the game, potentially, depending what your starting hand was, you could have like a sweeper, right? And Dugong's a great sweeper, so that's usually how I start. According to the strategy, from wherever I pulled this, we go to the Water Club. So in the lobby, we meet our rival Ronald. He tells us that he wants to inherit the legendary cards. Now, the reason I suggest the Water Club is there's a member here named Sarah. You have a deal with her, or a duel with her, and she has 2 prizes. And you get 2 Coliseum packs as your reward. So, make a good deck, go fight Sarah. For 2 prizes, you only have to kill 2 of her Pokemon, then you win. You can just repeat it. Very easy way to grind. Coliseum usually has some of the best cards in the game. So if you want some of the rare Hitmonchans, Electabuzzes, Scythers, they're all in the Coliseum pack. So a great person to start with and grind out some cards. You can also have to fight a bodyguard before you have access to the gym leader. And then you get the Water Club medal.
Yeah. Not like beating a gym, and then you get one of your 8 badges as standard. But yeah, getting a bunch of those like kind of single evolution drops are just like sometimes you just run the table. I know Hitmonchan was I couldn't use a fire deck. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw a Hitmonchan at it, and oh wow, I just killed it before it even got started. Apparently, that's that's easy.
Yeah, 1 fighting energy with a Hitmonchan does 20 damage, and if you get to 3, you're hitting 40, right? So, again, one of those early, single entry, you drop them on the table, you crush it. Actually, if you watched any commercials, there is a commercial where the kid, it's like this little kid, and he's like, he's like, knows all the Pokemon cards, so all the tough kids are all like, wow, impressed. And he's like, see, an Electabuzz, because for 2 energies, you can do up to 40 damage with just one lightning and 1 anything, which means Electabuzz is possibly the most powerful card in the game. That's just true.
Whoa.
That's just true. Like, high-level meta endgame knowledge about Pokemon the trading card games was supplied to the general populace in the very first commercial.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's just like, oh, hey, this is the strat.
Yeah, but if you were ever to build a deck and you want to be competitive, I would highly recommend Electabuzz, because you can do upwards of 40 damage for 2 energy cards.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
No way. That's a very efficient way of looking at it.
Yeah. So I was like, neat. Anyways, on to the Grass Club. So in the Grass Club, you have to battle 3 trainers, 2 in the gym and 1 in the lounge before they tell you that the gym leader is at someone's house. Once she returns, you can battle here and get your second medal. Upon leaving the club, you be sure to go to the, what is it called? Battle arena? Or no, you get challenged to a battle against your Ronald, your rival. And if you win, you get a Jigglypuff card.
Yeah. Ronald's kind of, actually kind of like difficult if you get the wrong roll with them. If you just get a bricked hand, it's like, sweet. No energy.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, that's why.
You just turn it off.
I do recommend if you have whatever deck you have, maybe go to that club first. So if you started with fire, I would almost recommend like go to the fire club and just grind out some more fire energies, because I feel like you need probably like 20, like 17 to 18 in your hand. I want like almost a third of my cards just to be energy, because they're so important.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and just to smooth out, like I'm sure you'd be like, oh, it could be more efficient if you ran less. You just gotta get lucky. And you're like,
well,
I don't want to run by luck. I just want energy when I need it. Because sometimes you just can't spend enough of it.
Well, there are some training cards that you can like pull different. It's like energy searches, right? Technically, 4 energy searches are equal to energies, right? And there's like recycling cards, so you can cheese it later on with like if you have a bunch of trainer cards, but you still need 4 energy searches to negate that, right? So, anyways, from there though, we'll move on to the Science Club. So you have to defeat one guy who is blocking the door, and afterwards you are challenged the gym leader who uses science cards. I'm guessing Magnemite, Muck.
Yes, that would be what I would assume.
Like Porygon and Ditto deck, and you're like, I get that it's cute, but like, why?
Maybe there's some psychics in here.
Maybe, but they have a psychic club. Yeah, science.
Yes. Oh no, it's I'm assuming Porygon was is psychic, but Porygon's not psychic. Porygon's just normal.
Yeah.
Shows how good I am at Pokemon.
Come on, you're really showing your noob status right now. From there, we go to Ishihara's house. That was one of the guy's names, so I couldn't pronounce it earlier. And, like, wasn't even coming close to pronunciation. My brain just, not doing it. In the science club, you will find out a boy who's talking about the collector, Ishihara. If you go to his house, he will trade you some cards. He wants a Clefable. I never got a Clefable. Hence, I never traded with this man.
Yeah, it seems very, I don't. If I'm not going for this card, why would I ever do this?
Yeah, or like you don't get it randomly. You're not grinding. It's harder. It's rarer. Oh, well then. All right, on to the Fire Club. So the gym leader won't challenge you until you have at least 300 cards.
Yeah, you better have been grinding out some of those packs.
Sarah, just kick her ass. Kick her ass, Sarah.
Well, two packs will get you there pretty quick.
Yeah, because you probably get 10 cards, even 8 cards, 16 per. Hopefully you've had enough battle by the time you get to the gym leader. From there, though, you should go to the challenge hall. So after obtaining 3 medals, you can visit the hall and win a Mew card. And after 5 medals, you can win another Mew card. Okay. A Mewtwo card and then a Mew. And then after completing the game, you can obtain 1 rare card every time you complete the challenge hall. So in perpetuity, you can just go play through the 3 battles and win some of the games that have been unlocked. And I think that might even include like cards you don't get only through trades. So any of the unlockable cards can all be found here. So nothing is perma-locked in this game.
No, it's kind of nice with that. And
I
remember
that's
as
huge.
a kid, I had like a little bit of a memory of like, wow, it's so hard to get cards. And now you look back and you're like, I think we're just bad at this game. Because they just are throwing cards at you left, right, and center.
Very much so. I think actually, if you just go to all the gyms, you then go check your PC, and every time you go to a gym, Dr. What's his name? I was going to call him Dr. Mongo. What's his name? Mason? Dr. Mason. Dr. Mongo. Mongo! I collect cards. Oh, okay. You're not a very good Pokemon collector. No cards. Dr. Mongo, he sends you an email with a pack. So actually, if you just went, I think you get 8 packs off the start. So,
okay,
8 times 16, you get like 100 cards plus your deck 60. So you're halfway to the Fire Club, just walking around the map.
Yeah, well, that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Then.
Assume it. Maybe you only get the cards like when you unlock them, right? So if you need the 300 cards, you may not get the Fire card email. There might be like those things, but it's not impossible, right? It's not an impossible challenge. From there, you go to the Lightning Club. You have to defeat all the members of this club to challenge the leader.
Yes, that's usually how it goes.
No, sometimes you just walk in and you just fight the leader.
That's fair.
Yeah, sometimes they're like, I don't care about anyone in this lab. Or you just have to fight one guy, right? So this one specifically is like, I will challenge you if you prove yourself worthy.
I'm just laughing at the science club. We don't actually have a strong theme. We're not tied to it.
Well, how many energy sets are there? You could have done normal, just even normal cards, right? Base cards, or whatever you want to call it. Double energies.
But what would you call that for club? Like the normie club?
Yeah, normal club, right?
There you go.
That's a type, normal.
Yep. Casual.
Flying?
Chilling.
You could add a flying club, and you just have all birds.
It's true.
That's actually a much better idea.
There's no bugs in here.
Yeah.
Why is there no bug club?
Well, because they're all just that's like grass.
Tucked into grass.
Because then there's poison. I don't know why they just didn't make all the types of cards. Well, because they need all the energies. I get it. Because fighting, rock, earth, all the kind of the same thing, right? So, speaking of, or at least rock, so there is a good gym. This is a good entry gym since the deck isn't strong against any of the starters, and there are no prerequisites to fight the gym leader. See? The rock club, you can just show up and go fight the gym leader.
Yeah, there you go. Just walk right in, kick in the door, and start...
That's it.
Losing again and again, or get the RNG in your favor, and then you win.
You can also head to the fighting club. You have to fight, or you have to explore all the other gyms to find his 3 students. Once they are defeated, you can then defeat, I believe his name is Mitch of the fighting club.
Yeah. Yeah. Good time. I mean, we're almost there. Like, I mean, this is our 7th badge. The game flies by. Like, because you can easily just do a few gyms in one sitting easily if you're just kind of like grinding it out. Or in some of these cases, you go fight one battle and then you move on to the next one.
Yeah, and depending what your hand is, like if you make a decent deck, it will actually take out a lot of the battles, right? Due to like poor AI, the fact that it's not just cheap and rigged against you, and as the fact you have like some autonomy, and maybe you like have a Pokeball that gives you any Pokemon from your deck, and you flip it, and if it's tails, you just reset and move on with your life and try it next hand, right? So the fact you have those kind of little workarounds on your favor, it should be pretty successful. And as long as you have 2 decks, right? You have a fire deck. Okay, you just need one deck that's strong against water, or at least not weak against it, and you win, right? So whether that's lightning, grass, fighting, psychic, right? You can kind of play around to do anything. I think the first time I played, I had a psychic / water deck. So I'd run kind of a combo of like Ghastly Haunter and Abra Kadabra as one deck, and then I'd run like a water deck, and I thought those were pretty solid. But I would really recommend looking into Scyther, Hitmonchan, and Electabuzz. Just saying.
Yeah. No, those are some of the best cards that you can have, and you just kind of rotate between them. So,
well, and like some cards are weird though, because I would say Abra's fine, because you get for 1 psychic energy, you can get a 10-hit paralysis move, right? You can just stun lock you could stun lock a Charizard. Dyson pulls out his Charizard. I have an Abra. 12 turns. I saw it, guys. I had a Squirtle. A Squirtle knocked out a Gyarados? Like 10 turns. 10 turns in a row. I just saw heads on Paralyze, and he just beat me. And I was like, that sucked. That was painful. Like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Right? So, you could do it. And then Kadabra is pretty strong. But then if you go to Alakazam, I feel like it's actually weaker. Like, he doesn't have any that strong attacks. So it's kind of one of those weird, like, you can't take the evolution too far.
He just has a confuse ray. I could see it doing it if, like, your health is low and then you involve them and they kind of come back into full health or whatever. It's like, maybe that's the strategy. The other one is, like, the legendary birds.
Yeah.
They're all like, maybe like not Zapdos, but like the Articuno or Moltres. I found Articuno to be like, slap that sucker in there. It's like, yeah, it's 3
waters.
Like once you get to 3 waters, and then or you get to the 5th or the 4th or whatever. It's like then all of a sudden you're just like smashing for massive damage. You're like, that's easy. But then again, it's like, or you chip away at them with the Hitmonchan, punch them in the face for 20 damage at a time.
Yeah, no, and that's
very efficient.
That's kind of the thing, right? So you can play around. You can get more of the elite decks. You can build kind of like the legendary cards. You can have like the big tailspins, but sometimes it's not worth it, right? Like even Dragonite, like, oh, Dragonite, wow, 3rd evolution, Dragon Pokemon, awesome. And he has like Barrage, flip a coin 4 times, does 20 damage. I'm like, so maybe 80, but also maybe 0. Okay,
Yeah,
right. Whereas
which
like
is always disappointing.
Whereas like Blastoise has base like 3 water power, 50 water gun, but you can also add upwards of like 4 energies, which makes the water gun give 90 damage. I'm like, well, one seems better than the other. Oh, and he has that power that you can put unlimited water energy. So if you had like a Dr. Oak and you got 7 water energies, you just sort of slap it on Blastoise and use a power, like, oh, I see. Anyways, back to the game. Last gym is the Psychic Club. So you have to fight until you have 4 gym medals. So once you have 4 gym medals, you're allowed to fight this guy, or he doesn't really pay attention to you. And then finally, we're on to the Pokedome. So now you have all gym medals. You built your awesome deck. You can go to the Pokedome, and it's to challenge the Elite Four. They have Fire for Moltres, Ice for Articuno, Electric for Gengar, and then Dragon for Dragonite. Decks, they're pretty simple and weak. They really seem like they focus on just trying to get like their limited Pokemon. Like that Electric guy only tried to drop Gengar. It's crazy. After you finish them, you find that your rival also defeated them. Oh no! He has all 4 legendary cards in just a deck that's absolutely terrible because How are you going to attack me with your Articuno and your Zapdos and your Moltres when you have like fighting energies on all of them? What are you doing?
yeah, this one's kind of the easier one.
Oh, it's super easy. Like he dropped Zapdos, and I was like, how am I going to fight Zapdos? And then he just like kept putting fighting energies on his bench Pokemon, and I was like, oh, I see. You probably have 4 energy in your deck, and you're just like not gonna get them. Like they might actually be prizes, and you'll never draw them unless you defeat my Pokemon. So I just beat you. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
and I know that Zapdos is electric. I was just saying Gengar so everyone would get upset because I want you to be upset that the ghost you're listening to in this podcast is wrong.
I just also found it like so hilarious how sometimes you're like, oh, this is gonna be really like tough battle, and then it just isn't.
Oh, it just like
they just roll over.
Yeah. No, and I found that with most of the Elite Four, I don't. Well, so I had what was called a. Shoot, I forget what the deck's called. Best base Pokemon card decks. I want to give credit to like, shoot. Best decks. Anyways, there's a deck with the Skythers, with the Hitmonchan, with the Electabuzz. It has like a name. It's called like the high fast hitting deck. Nah, I forgot what it's called. Anyways, it has a name. If you roll in with a deck like that, kind of a higher powered deck, you don't have to change. You don't have to like readjust your deck after each boss, right? Because you're like, oh, I better get some advantages. I found that these guys weren't that much of a challenge at all. Pretty simple, actually.
Yeah, no, it's not a tough game, but it's a fun game.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot of like building the decks, having some fun with it, just playing around. It's like this is a really approachable way, and I kind of wish we had more games like it.
That's why I said we don't just don't look into what the Pokemon Trading Card Game 2 looks like, because apparently all the creature comforts you're looking for are there. Cool. Better experience, new cards, a little bit better of a deck builder, and just creature comfort things, better menu systems, faster mechanics, a bit more of a fleshed out world to live in, bit of more of a story, right? Kind of all those kind of things. So, but for this experience, for what we get, it's okay, it's fine. There are going to be annoying parts. You're going to end up in battles where, you have a Squirtle. You got your Gyarados ready to roll through his whole team, and he just stun locks you. So,
yeah. And this, unless you get like a full heal sitting there, or you draw it randomly, it's like, well, good luck.
Yeah, and there are some cards, right? Switches that can help, right? If your Pokemon is paralyzed or something like that, to kind of switch in another active member. So there are cards, right? Item cards that you can kind of help kind of cheese the system. So and you can play as many item cards as you want, right? So one of the other higher strategies is lots of elite item cards, and you just like mash your deck, right? Like you destroy the other guy and just run rickshaw on him, but like you're also trying to run through all 60 of your cards before he gets through like 20 to 25 of his cards, right? So you're just trying to like overpower him. But it's fun. A couple different strategies. It's just kind of a bland experience. I've played it. I built the best deck. Now what? Nothing, right? There's no other way of like, well, I could try, I guess, and play a science deck, but I don't really want to play with Porygon that much.
No, but I think for what it is, like for a Game Boy game, it's like this is everything it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice to have some replayability, but it's like, I mean, as a kid, you probably put a ton of hours into it more. Like, I can see that 30 hours, because if you're just kind of figuring out on your own, it's like probably going to take you a little bit of time. But once you kind of know what you're doing, it's like, it becomes a cakewalk, and then you don't need to go back to it anytime soon. If
I was a better scientist, I could have actually probably pulled out my copy of the Pokemon Trading Card Game, thrown it into my Game Boy, popped it on, and could have told you how long it took me to beat that. Because once I probably beat this game, I was probably like, no one can ever play this game again. I beat it. Okay. I need to be able to see the ending, which is watch the credits. You go back to Dr. What was his name? Mason's lab. And then you can keep collecting cards, build better decks, get all the cards.
Yes. That's it.
That's it. That's the game. Cool.
But it's you need a completed save file on there, or else if somebody calls you out on like you haven't beat this game, like no, I have. Here it is.
I have
proof.
4 digital Charizards. Whoa. Current thoughts. So current thoughts on this
You're
game.
rich.
What's current thoughts? This game is kind of fun. The deck building, collecting, and trading is fun. The coin flip in this game, apparently they're actually predetermined from the start of the match. So there is a chance that your Pokeball that you pull out will always just be tails. It's always tails. It doesn't matter if you use it in your second turn or your fifth turn. There are some things that are just apparently like certain attacks are always going to land or not going to land depending, and you have nothing to do about it. You could reset 100 times. It's always just going to be heads. It's always going to be tails. It's kind of annoying, right? Having your team wiped out with 10 paralysis locks, and you're like, ugh. Or a training card that are trader cards that are basically useless because they always result in the tails. I wish there was a give up button mid-match because there's a certain point where you're just like, oh, I'm done. I have to watch you sweep the rest of my team, knock out 6 more Pokemon. I can't just give up. That sucks. But the AI overall is kind of bad, right? There's times where maybe they got the worst cards, but they'll have like 12 cards and they're just like not putting anything down. And then I beat them. And I'm like, what was in your hand? Like nothing useful?
Yeah. There's like some battles that go on way, way too long. And then there's other times where it's just like, oh, it's over. Apparently I fought one card and killed it in 2 seconds and it's dead. And on to the next thing.
Now, there is some big brain thinking of, hey, we're making a Pokemon game, make it accessible, bring down the difficulty. We want lots of people digging their hands into this. We don't want people to be discouraged. Sure, let's make a reduced difficulty, add an assist, dummy the AI occasionally for like the dopamine hits, right? So you can sell more products rather than actually making a quality game. But just some of the RNGs in this game apparently are like frustrating, right? And you go and you look it up and there's other people online complaining like, this also happened to me. How did I get stun locked? I lost my Charizard to an Abra. It happens.
That it does.
Yeah, cool. Your current thoughts?
Good game. I mean, it's kind of like, it's not overly like, there's just not a lot to it.
Yeah.
Once you kind of just like play a few rounds, you're like, oh, I kind of get it. Build a few decks, and then you just kind of trudge on to the end. I just feel like it's like because now it's going to sound weird because it's like honestly having easy access to all the cards where like you get them so easily is nice and it's not frustrating. But I think it also just makes the game like you just fly by it. Once you kind of get all the cards you want, you're just like, well, I guess I should just finish this game already.
Yeah, exactly. From the deck building, collecting point of view, you're missing something, right? Like they just need a bit more of this world and have a bit more of the collectorism, right? More tournaments, more challenges to kind of find games, get cards. Maybe money was the option, right? Rather than just always getting 2 decks of cards. You get enough money to buy like 75% of a deck of cards. Okay, so you have to do 2 battles to get 1, right? And maybe there was something else like that, or you could like buy cards, or the shop had like special light cards up for sale. I don't know, something. And are they all available in the sequel? Maybe, right? What would I change about this game? So I'd say remake this game, but with modern cards and allow free generational updates. Yeah, right. Increase the popularity of playing the game would probably increase sales. And more importantly, increase the resale market, right? Because then people would be like shuffling their Pokemon cards, right? Like shuffling them all, wrecking them. Can't sell them if they're shuffled. Help the scalpers. You love scalpers. Why aren't you helping them?
Right? You know what? It's one of those things where it's like, I feel like you could just be making so much more money on this.
Yeah.
And let's face it, the mobile game is generating the billions you need, Nintendo. Just, release us from our cash hoardings.
I mean,
and give us more digital Pokemon cards.
There is probably something to be said about like wanting to gatekeep this because Pokemon cards are so goddamn rare and so much in demand that they can just kind of like blanketly sell these packages and know that they're like going to bring in all this revenue. And they're just like, our overall business is better off with having like a market of collectors, right? So making something like this that takes away from that cash flow is probably not a proposition they want to even attempt, right? Which is maybe why we don't see a Pokemon trading card game, right? Because if you can get your dopamine fix and you can just like give this to your kids and they can just play it and they have all the cards digitally, why would they buy it physically? And a digital card is forever.
They do have the mobile game, but they limit it
like,
to a point where you can only get like a certain, like a number of packs or whatever. I don't know if it's every day or every week or where the heck it is. And it's like, or you can give us a monthly subscription and we'll give you one extra pack a day or whatever it is. You know, like, that's ridiculous.
Well, there is lots of apps. Huh. Okay. Well, maybe I'll download some of these. Cool. Interesting.
Yeah, the Pokemon trading card game app is pretty addictive.
Which one?
And I know a lot of people like...
Because there's Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. There's Pokemon Trading Card Game Live.
Yes. I would assume it's the...
Pocket?
Pocket.
Okay.
That's the one I'm talking about.
And then there's a scanner. Huh. I'm going to scan my Dragon. I'm going to scan my Charizard later and like break this thing's mind. Not real. Cannot be original. Gen 1 Charizard. They are rare. How do you have one?
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up, computer. You still sound like a computer. Pacha! Pacha! Yeah.
Yeah. Give us some of those fake AI-generated voices that are so easily determined.
Speaking of AI, they did help us write our notes. We really have to praise the AI overlords on this podcast, or what would we be doing? We did what would we change? Are you buying it? Investing early in unopened Pokemon cards would have been the best investment that you could have made in the last 30 years. If you would have just like Gen 1, you're like, Mom, I need like $300. I don't need any Christmas gifts. I'm just going to go buy some boxes of Pokemon cards and sit them under my bed. For that $200, let's say you had like 10 boxes. How much money would those be worth right now?
Piles.
Right? Like at whatever age you were at that point, if for some reason you could have just like put that thought in your head and, you know, you like, it's not a Biff Tannen, right? We're not like, you're not getting millions. Oh, you might, but you pull it out now and you're just like, hey, Logan Paul, you want to like open these packs of cards all for millions of dollars? And you're just like, I'm set for life because time travel. Back to the Future is just so smart with that idea, you know?
It is. It is. I mean, there's a bunch of stocks that I would have been like, you know, I could just put that money into it.
But that's, but like in terms of what you had access to in your life, you know, if you had like an ability
it's just like
to shoot a thought in your head back in time, a one singular thought that you as like even a child could accomplish, right? If you were just like...
Never open any of your stuff.
Just Pokemon cards, don't open. Everyone else is opening them, don't open them, don't open them, don't open them. And just like hoard that stuff.
But even then, like, because our generation is such a like nostalgic, like vampires, we just like need it. Mm-hmm. I think if you just had like closed box, like people buy bloody like old Star Wars like pop cans that are opened.
Yes.
And you're like,
I know, I like.
We
them.
have these.
I know, I like them. That's why I keep buying them.
You know what? It's one of those things where it's like, our generation, if you just never opened anything, everything that you would have ever consumed, just like, no, I'm putting it in this corner. That's my retirement in 10 years.
I mean, yes, but you would have lost some joy. Like Pokemon again. Pokemon, if you just had like a box, you know, the ones from 7-Eleven, if somehow you'd have just talked that guy, I'll give you $50 for this box. The guy's like, oh yeah, for sure. I only paid 40. Haha. And you just sat on that and you never opened those cards. You just be like, this is worth like $1 million right now. That's crazy. That's like gold. Anyways, gold. AI. You mentioned AI. I was listening to a show about AI today. They were talking about how like what jobs are going to be lost to AI. Apparently, tech jobs. So, you know, building programs, running code and stuff like that takes a while. You need lots of teams. There's lots of money in tech because as a tech company, it takes a while to develop and give out software. Apparently, AI is really good at writing software to the point where it can do like 6 months of work in like a week. If you just had like a refined team go over the data and check everything, it like mostly works for the most part, and you can like ship out software within like a few weeks rather than like 6 months. So apparently one of the most effective industries because of AI ultimately will be potentially tech. And I was like, that is ironic.
Yeah, they kind of work themselves out of a career.
Literally. And everything else, like everyone else, accountants, you're going to be able to have to justify, you know what, we can run all these data, we can have the reports, but we need teams to go through and nitpick everything, right? To double check. But it just saves a lot of the background work. But we can still keep like high-end talent around to review things, right? To make sure things are kind of double checked and do that before we can submit reports. We still need a team and time. But tech, apparently, because it does just pop out so quickly and you can check it and run it through tests. Okay, let's test this program, make sure it does everything. AI can then test the program and give you, here's the results. Okay, let's troubleshoot a couple things. Yep, it's done. Fuck. And you just like, so I was like,
Yeah.
ultimately, that's the industry that might suffer the most. And I was like, okay, cool, awesome. Well, I'm glad they Ouroboros to themselves.
Yes. Well, I know Microsoft's currently doing that, and they actually ended up rolling out an update that bricked a bunch of people's computers. It's like, so AI is good and it's bad. It's eventually going to get pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But I think with the rise of AI, it's like no one's going to know what the hell is real anymore. So I feel like if you want, like, if anything needs to be done, it's going to be done in person.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
because you just can't. It was maybe not be able to trust it.
It was just more of a, not so much a discussion, more of an anecdote. I heard that I was like, of course, that is going to be the most effective. I was like, that makes the most sense. Like ultimately, when you get to the end of it, you're like, who suffered the most? Oh, it was the tech people. Oh, great, awesome, that's hilarious. Versus 5 years ago, 2 years ago, what's the best job? What's the best industry? You were kicking yourself for not being in tech, right? Ah, man, why didn't they go into tech? Versus,
I should have got a computer science degree.
And now you'd be sitting there and you'd be sweating a little bit, and you're like, oh, my job is like very quickly. If you're not the best, you're not a leading edge, and you're not like testing the AI is doing your job. You're like, oh, I might not have a job anymore. Well, funny how that works. Funny how that works. Anyways, let's get into a cultural significance. And after talking about this game for an hour, let's look at the actual Pokemon trading card game. So in this section, we look at the game design, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the Pokemon trading card game. So we kind of held off a little bit. And this is, we're going to talk about that part of it. So maybe starting off, quick, brief overview of the Pokemon trading card game. I'll give you like the Cliff's notes. So it was released in in North America, January 9th, 1999. So probably by the summer of 1999, full force, maybe even early spring, it just kind of started taking over schools, right? So collecting, I remember specifically it being summertime. Do you confirm or deny that the Pokemon trading card was like popular, but it was more, I almost want to say like, I remember it being summertime.
I want to say yes, because I feel like we spent a long time running between like the handful of places that sold Pokemon cards. And I know we found one guy who actually sold singles. I think that was the first single shop we ever found. I'm pretty sure that was in the middle of summer. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. It was nice out. It was summer. We were running around. We had free time, right? We're off. Mom was a teacher. So we did spend a little bit of time running around that summer. So summer of 99, Pokemon trading card game kind of starts blowing up. It comes out. You can get booster sets. You can go to 7-Eleven, buy for $20, you get 60 cards. You get a holo. You get a bunch of energies. Basically, you get a deck. You never did that. You put them in a binder. You could buy individual cards. They would get sold out. You'd have friends that would like have a birthday or something, and they tell you they bought like $50 worth of cards, and you go over and they'd just be opening cards for 40 minutes, and you'd be so jealous. It would spill in over to the school year, right, which caused kids to steal and lose them in games and then cry, and teachers intervened and people were selling them and collecting them, and it was very, very, very all-consuming for a little while, right? Probably lasted for maybe to the end of the year, maybe even to the next year, right? Before kind of the next kind of fad took over or whatnot. But as fads go, it was a very big one. It blew up. It took over. And it was kind of all consuming, right? Collect them all. That's what they pushed, and that's what you needed. You needed all of the cards, right? So I know for us, we early on, I don't know, maybe it took us a year or two. We grinded out. We have a full set of cards. We have the complete first base set of Pokemon cards in a binder still. They've sat there till this day, even though we've collected the other jungle and fossil sets. Like we kind of were mentioned before, I think we fell out a little bit by the time those started getting released. I don't know if I bought Pokemon cards after Fossil. Like maybe I bought them in the last few years, right? Like I'm in an EB Games and I see here's a starter deck for $20. I'm like, okay, sure. I don't know. It's got a holographic Pikachu on it. Maybe it's worth money one day, right? It gets thrown on a shelf somewhere. So I have a couple of those, but for the most part, that was kind of my experience with the Pokemon trading card game, was just that initial release and then trying to collect all 102 Pokemon cards, right? So I don't know how we ended up finding them all. It'd be like the bad skateboarder stoner kid at school would be like selling a Zapdos for $30, and I'd have to go like find mom and be like, Mom, I need $30 right now to buy this card, right? So I know I bought some of those that way, some trades, right? And then I don't know where our Charizard came from.
Oh, we bought that as the singles from the one guy.
Is that how that?
Cranbrook.
Okay,
I think you bought that for $100.
that seems. So I feel like that was the rule. It was the Pokemon. It was the Charizard for 100. I don't think I bought it from him. I don't think we were allowed. I think I got it someone later, but I think I probably spent like $40 on it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was because we were all like, the first wave of Pokemon, we're like, yeah, there was madness about it, but we all slowly started transitioning into the next fad because we were just so crazy at that point. We're like, I know for the most of us, like, we just kind of dropped off. Mm-hmm. Like, I do not remember ever seeing the base sets. It goes like base set, then what is it?
Jungle, then Fossil.
Jungle, then Fossil, then base set 2.
Yeah,
then Team Rocket. I don't remember ever seeing a Team Rocket card.
No, that was definitely past me. But also, if you look at just like, I'm like 13, going on 14 at a certain point, Pokemon cards, you're just like, girls I like girls, they don't like Pokemon cards, keep those away, right? So that was kind of like probably my transition out of that kind of thing and just that kind of part of my life. But specifically the summer of and probably into 2000s was definitely Pokemon. Although, knowing what I know about kind of what I was into and who I was hanging out with, I kind of feel like I might have been done collecting Pokemon cards by 99, like by the end of 99. So from summer, let's maybe call it even June, when it first started hitting us within the next 6 months, we probably had the first base set done. I had a couple friends that I don't know what their family situations were or what happened, but they always seemed to like just their parents would give them like $20. And I was like, wow, your parents are really good parents. But I think if your parents just give you $20 instead of getting you groceries, maybe you're not the best parents. That's all I'll say. But if you're a parent and give your kids $20 for lunch once in a while, cool, good for you. But I had friends that had like random amounts of money. I don't know why. Again, I'm not going to speculate. But I think a couple of them ended up having more of the rare cards. And I was able to like shizzle my way into getting them to give me a Pokemon card for something. So I have two friends specifically that I'm pretty sure I used as like a funnel system, and I just like abused my friendship. And I was like, you will give me this Blastoise card and I will give you this copy of Star Wars Shadows of the Empire for the N64. In fact, I'll play you for it. I'll play you.
Just hey, I'm gonna come stay at your house all weekend.
Yeah,
and then you should just badger them for 3 days.
Oh my god, man, Hexen is so awesome. Like, I think girls like you if you have Hexen the video game. So like, maybe if you gave me Alakazam, you could have Hexen and have a girlfriend.
Oh. Look, 1080 snowboarding is the best game. You want snowboarding?
Yeah, you definitely want this experience.
I mean, know how cool you're really into like dirt bikes right now. Excite bike
N64.
Like, come on, man. If you don't have this, are you a real do you really ride dirt bikes?
But like real,
what's this Pokemon card? This is kid stuff. I'll take it off your hand.
I kind of feel like I literally did that because, I mean, that was the other thing. There was like some kids in school that had like 2 Charizards. I have 2 Charizards at home. You should bring them to school. In fact, yeah, there was definitely a kid that had like multiple Charizard cards and I never saw them. And I was like, you should bring them to school so I can look at them. He never did. I think he was lying.
They usually are. It's like, oh no, I remember a friend once said that they won a contest for a limited edition Xbox, and they couldn't play Xbox until that new one came in. And I was like, what happened to your Xbox?
Yeah, it's
we had to send it away. Now we've won this limited edition. I was like, I think it broke.
Yeah, it's definitely just like a stupid story told. Anyways, that's kind of like my recollections of kind of and experience through Pokemon cards, right? I had a friend that said that he bought a TV. He traded in his first set of, he was smart. He traded in his first set of Pokemon cards for $500 because he knew they wouldn't be worth their cards. $500 for this whole, like, I had all the original cards and $500? Stupid. I bought a TV. And he bragged about that. And he's like, look, I now have this 38-inch television. Idiot. And I was like, oh, I still have my Pokemon cards. I just kept them because I thought maybe they'd be worth more in the future.
Surprise they are.
Like, if we invested, it would be an investment, I would call it, and just sent that deck of cards in to just get graded. Like, here's all our holograms. Grade them, send them back. Like, we probably 4x'd our money, right? An ungraded Charizard is probably not worth, like, even if it's a 6 out of 10, a 6 out of 10 is worth an ungraded, right? Like, you like almost 4x your investment kind of thing, so.
Yeah. Well, I guess you kind of gotta like look at them real close.
Yeah.
Like if they look like
if
good,
it's
like
yeah,
definitely send them in.
And maybe
if
if
they're
it's
like got like a curve to them and they come back like this is a 2.
or Charizard is like all scratched. There's like scratches on it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if we need to do that. Anyways, so Pokemon. So cultural significance. That's where we're at. I've got kind of 2 things to read through here. And then we'll go through that. And we'll keep talking, obviously, as we go through this. So the first one, cultural significance 1. From Playground to Game Boy, the rise of the Pokemon trading card game. The Pokemon trading card game launched in Japan in 1996, expanding Pokemon beyond video games and anime and into a physical, social experience. Internationally, it was released in 1999 and sparked a massive Pokemania wave in North America and Europe. Early sets defined the hobby. So we have the base set from 1999. I could have potentially read this before actually trying to give you like a weird my version without any numbers to it, history. But this is maybe the other history. So the base set, 1999. It had 102 cards. It introduced the core Pokemon, energy system, and the iconic artwork. And also 1999, we saw the Jungle set, which was 64 cards, expanded the roster with fan favorites like Vaporeon, Snorlax, and Scyther. Fossil set also released in 1999. And this is kind of what makes me think we did this all within like a 6-month period of our lives, because all 3 sets came out in the exact same year, and I don't remember the next set. So I may not have been collecting Pokemon cards the next year, and that's probably literally when base set 2 was released. And this Fossil set was 62 cards. It introduced Pokemon like Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and Dragonite. The first 3 sets laid the foundation for collecting, trading, and competitive play. The Pokemon trading card game, which was released in 2000 in North America, acted as a digital gateway into the hobby. It taught rules, deck building, card strategies to kids who couldn't always access physical cards. Made Pokemon feel more like a game within a game, blending the RPG structure with real-world card mechanics. It helped legitimize trading card games for younger audiences, alongside with Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! And it cemented Pokemon not just as a franchise, but as a multi-format ecosystem. Games, cards, toys, animes, and collectibles.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the biggest IP in the world, right?
Did we talk about this before, the Detective Pikachu? I talked about Detective Pikachu with you?
I think so.
Okay. Was it on the podcast?
Yes, you did. Yes, I think it was.
So, literally, last episode, I wasted an anecdote on Pokemon. Damn it.
Yes.
Anyway, so...
Yes, you did.
So,
I remember it.
So the theory, Detective Pikachu, which is actually pretty good. Like, all in all, you go and, like, the Pokemon look pretty good. Yeah, the story's kind of eh. And if you don't like the Ryan Reynolds shtick, like, you're kind of over it. There's a lot of Ryan Reynolds-ness to it. But you can kind of look past that. Still, it's a very cute Pikachu. Pikachu's fat, again, in that movie. He's cute. He's adorable. He's great. Why wasn't there a sequel? Everything gets a sequel. The theory is they started development on the movie before... Pokemon Go came out, and Pokemon Go was just such a giant epicenter that pulled in so many people back into the Pokemon kind of zeitgeist, and it saw an increase in popularity that their movie, even though it made money at the box office, essentially becomes a risk, because you could make a bad movie which hurts your brand. So there is actually no point in making a Pokemon movie right now, because You're just spending money to potentially hurt yourself, right? You don't see the gains, as opposed to just investing more money into like a Pokemon Go ad campaign. And like, Snorlaxes are here this weekend. And Tyson will be like, I like Snorlax. And he'll go outside and play Pokemon Go. And that's all they need. They don't need a movie. They just need like that one blip to get you in, right? So that's kind of the theory there. And it does make sense, yeah. One of the mega mono pop culture IPs is Pokemon. I don't know if I see that going away. It's just kind of weirdly integrated itself into our world, right? It's kind of our Looney Tunes, right? It's that lasting power. It's that last 30 years, just that big IP sits up there with like, well, in terms of, I guess, kid-friendly, right? The SpongeBobs and the Peppa Pigs. Did you know that Peppa Pig is worth more than what Disney bought Star Wars for?
That seems silly, but now that I look back at what George got paid for the Star Wars franchise, I'm like, he really sold at a bargain.
Yeah.
Like, a man picking up the entire Star Wars IP for like $3-4 billion seems like a really, really good price, actually.
Peppa Pig the brand is worth approximately $1.7 billion as of 2022.
Then what did Star Wars sold for?
Disney bought Star Wars.
Did he get just like a single $1 billion? Like, damn, George, like, you are just so bad at this.
Disney.
$4 billion.
Oh,
$4 billion.
So still, 1.7. Oh, wait, sorry. 2019, the deal brand, part of a $1 billion acquisition, preschool generating. Yeah. Okay. So Peppa Pig is worth approximately half of what Disney bought Star Wars for. Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader are only worth double of Peppa Pig. I don't even know what Peppa Pig is.
Well, and that's why, like, I think, like, you got to sell high at these things.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be releasing products and then sell them. I think what George did is
Yeah. I mean,
he just sat on it for so many years and then was like, I guess I should do something with this. Let me just sell it to Disney. It's like
one of our... Anyways, random aside, now that Star Wars is brought into the fold, we watched Titanic the other day. And it's good. I think Titanic kind of holds up. It gets like kind of like, it's like, oh, it's a stupid love story. Yeah, it's definitely a little long. It's 3 hours, but there's like 45 minutes, 50 minutes of James Cameron showing you a really awesome action disaster film. Like, at one point, Rose is in the bottom of the ship and it's sinking near the water, creaking around, and she's running around the hallways. And it's a horror movie. Like, it's like straight up like, this is like Shining level horror they're doing. And then it just like, it jumps between genres, but it's still good. One of the reviews on IMDb, as we're looking it up afterwards, is from 1999. Neckbeard.com says, yeah, Titanic is blowing the box office out of the water, but I'm really excited for Star Wars Episode 1 to come out and show box offices what the power of Star Wars will do. I'm so excited for Star Wars Episode 1 because it'll be the best movie and it's going to make Titanic look stupid at the box office. Best comment ever.
Well, that didn't age well, did it?
I was like, well, that lost cred 5 seconds into the first movie. That's too bad. Too bad at all. Yeah. Anyways, let's get into cultural significance number 2. So, rare cards. Big money and the legend of Charizard. What does Charizard sound like? How does he say his name?
I have no idea. I think he just screeches.
In my mind, he like sleeps, so I'm not sure what he does. Pokemon cards became one of the first childhood collectibles to later explode into serious financial market. By the early 2000s, millions of cards were in circulation worldwide, with Pokemon becoming one of the best-selling card games ever. Today, Pokemon is the highest-selling card game in history, with over 50 billion cards produced globally. Rare cards created a sense of mythology within the hobby. First editions, shadowless prints, holographic cards, promo, and tournament exclusives. The ultimate symbol? Charizard, base set, holo, 1999. The most iconic Pokemon card ever printed. First edition PSA copies have sold hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes exceeding $300,000. Becoming a pop cultural shorthand for the most valuable card. The Pokemon trading card game reflects this obsession. Rare cards were hard to obtain, booster packs felt exciting and risky, mirroring the real-life collecting. The hunt for legendary cards became a core gameplay loop. Pokemon cards bring childhood nostalgia with adult collector culture, helped monetize grading, card protection, and investing collecting, turned a kids' game into a legitimate collectibles market, and Charizard isn't just a card anymore. It's a cultural artifact, a symbol of the late 90s gaming culture, and proof that Pokemon nostalgia can hold real-world financial power.
Oh, God. AI tries so hard.
Yeah, I know. But, like, yeah, it kind of sucks. And some people's jobs might get taken by that. That sucks. You suck at your life. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's everyone else's.
Well, it's corporations wanting to
that's-
remove all costs so they can drive up profits.
Yeah. Get out of your sheep. I mean, we like you people. You're good workers.
Wow. That all works until the point where you cut out the people who are 90% of your customers can't afford your products.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, like everybody just like, I mean, even to this day, it's just been going on for forever. I think it really took off in COVID when people were just like bored and had nothing but time on their hands, and they're like, let's just start buying old Pokemon cards, and then it just became a bloody, unstoppable monster because people are greedy, and you still see videos of people running into like Costco and buying, like they'll get like a flat or a pallet of Pokemon cards, and some guy will try to walk up and try to buy every single one of them. It's like, I just don't understand it. It's just unnecessary, and to be honest, it's like it's kind of soured me.
Yes.
In my appreciation of Pokemon, where it's just like I just don't want to associate with it. So
actually, that's a very good point. So prior to COVID, maybe going into COVID, maybe during COVID, the card market started to blow up, right? So I started looking into that. I bought myself a couple cards that I thought were kind of neat, right? But yeah, it was kind of like that scalper market, and you do see it. Unfortunately, it does just bring out its money. It brings out the worst in people, right? Now, also because collecting cards is a pretty low skill thing. Hey, when do you get cards?
Yeah, it's just gambling.
Well, no, but just, I have to drive to Walmart and wait, and that's it, and have money, right? So like, what's the skill? What's the skill needed for this? Knowing when they get shipments and waiting. Those aren't high skills, right? That's not like you have to know the how to use a facts table at the end of a tax book to calculate gross financial losses in the event of capital. You know what I mean? Like that sounds like I said words in the second example that were harder than just going to Walmart and waiting. So because there's such a low skill, you get some pretty shitty people going in and trying to capitalize and take advantage of people, right? Which is not what you want, but it's can still be neat, right? Card shows can be fun. You can share lots of good hobbies in that sense. It's just, like scalping card shop and the scalper culture isn't great, but for the most part, there are good parts still left kind of in the community, right? So you just kind of, pick and choose. I don't know why I do so many, like when I have a cold, I'm like, now I should podcast. This will be good for my voice. And meanwhile, I'm just like a crippled mess by the end. I don't know what I'm thinking. Anyways, Pokemon cards. Base sets. I have a whole list. We're not going to look at the whole list. How do you want to proceed? What do you want to do? What's left? What haven't we talked about?
I don't know. I think we've talked about a good chunk of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you wanted to gab about the original 3 sets anymore.
No, I think we probably did an okay job. Looking at the first set, like I said, I know we have it. It's everything. Charizard is kind of like the big point of that. We don't remember exactly how we got that. I know that our first set of cards we ever got was the Machamp booster set. So we definitely did have both the set of, or both have the Machamp holo card that came with that. And then shortly thereafter, maybe the jungle set started coming out, because in my mind, we do have a mixture of kind of both. And maybe that was why it was harder to find base set cards, because we started getting inundated with like the jungle set, probably within the first maybe couple weeks, even month of collecting this. A lot of these holo cards that I'm looking up, none of them are just like anything special. They're Vaporeon, Mr. Mime, Pinsir. Yeah. Do you remember what the very first card you got was? In the first pack of, like, booster pack you got? The first rare card you got?
I guess it would be a first set holo. It was probably a frickin' Chansey.
Okay. That's a pretty good card.
And I was like, but I was so super disappointed because you're like, man, the one I don't want.
I know I got because I have a weird, like, a affiliation or just, like, an affinity for Doug Trio. Yeah. Uncommon, that was my very first. That was, like, my most powerful card. I'm like, oh, it's the best card. Look, he does 70 earthquake damage, right? Like, that's good. He's got 70 health.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, that was, like, my, like, strongest card. Because that's how I used to play it. It was, like, I'm going to pick 3 cards, and whoever has the strongest cards win. Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't play with energy. We're just like, but this one does 30, and therefore it does more damage, and I win.
Okay, so this is definitely Zapdos. There was something with the Zapdos. He has 30.
He does 100 damage.
He does 100 damage, but he has resistance of 30. Okay. And Machamp does Seismic Toss, which is 60.
Yeah.
Zapdos. So I definitely had a scenario where I had a Zapdos, somebody had a Machamp, and I was like, I'll play you, and if I can beat you one card, I get a different card. And the guy was like, yeah, that seems fair. So he had a Machamp. I have a Zapdos. He knows that. So he's like, I play Zapdos. And he's like, I play Machamp and hit you with Seismic 60 damage. Times 2 damage, you lose. And I was like, no. Zapdos has minus 30 rock resistance, so I take 30 damage, and I hit you with Thunderbolt, and you die. And then I just, like, took a card from him.
It's like, that's a solid way of doing it.
Yeah. I remember, like, I was like, I don't know what this, but I remember, because I knew that he had a resistance because he was flying type, that I, like, somehow, like, this one card duel off, I somehow, like, took a card. Like, and it was a good card. Like, it was probably like a holographic, I want to say Poliwhirl? Poliwrath. Yeah, that's exactly the card I got. So that's how I ended up with our holographic Poliwrath, was I tricked my friend into playing a 1-game card off with me.
And he just took his best card.
He's like, this is my best card. He's like, I will use my strongest rock type. And I was like, you idiot. You're resistant. I beat you.
It's like, because that's not a rock type that's fighting, you fool.
Yeah. That's silly. Jungle cards, I feel like we were maybe in, like, visiting our grandparents. We went to, like, a Walmart. We got some cards. I don't remember what I got, but I remember it, like, didn't help my hand. I wasn't a fan. Maybe a Mr. Mime was a card that came early on, which is actually a very powerful card, right? You can only do, like, 10 or less damage to Mr. Mime. So a stronger card, you just can't damage him. And he can just basically kind of deal damage. And then... Sorry. Fossil.
I feel like I got a Snorlax at one point.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I'm thinking just for Fossil. I kind of feel like I might have got, like, an Aerodactyl or something. Because I remember being like, wow, it is Fossil Pokemon. That's like kind of it. So, cool.
Yeah, I feel like I had a Haunter.
Sure.
And we definitely had, because I think one of these there's a Pikachu variant.
Yeah.
Maybe that was in Jungle. We definitely had I know for a while we were just trying to collect, like, all of them. All the Pikachu ones.
You mean the reason I have 30 Pikachus is because you collected Pikachus? I didn't know that you collected Pikachus. I couldn't guess by the 3 pages of Pikachu cards.
Yes.
And
sometimes they were just the exact same card. They were just like the common, but I was like, that's another one, goes in the binder.
Yeah. Pikachu. 58 out of 100. It's different. What about this one?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little, like, fatty guy.
Yeah. Fat Pikachu. Everyone loves Fat Pikachu. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. That's kind of my experience. I'm satisfied with that. I think I've told all my Pokemon stories.
Yes.
Did that.
No, it's good to kind of go back and look at these old cards, because you go back, you're like, oh, I remember these like they were yesterday. Man, we really just put them in binders and stared at them, didn't we?
Oh yeah, very much so. And they're still sitting there. So at some point you ever come to visit and you're like, I want to see those Pokemon cards and look at them. You can go through it, look at them. Perfect. Yeah, with that though, I think that ends Pokemon trading card game. That's our Pokemon entry for this year. I think our next game is I think we're at like Black and White. So maybe we'll do that next year.
Really? We're that far?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, time to start reading up on what the heck a Black and White Pokemon is.
Pokemon series games.
Okay, so this is what that like Tepig and Oshawott and Snively.
Yeah,
came from.
We played Diamond and Pearl. We played like the remakes, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And the Ruby and Sapphire we played because we played like the 3DS remakes at some point. Yeah, so we're Black and White, huh?
And there you go.
Cool. That's fun. Yeah, so maybe get into that. That's all right. Black and White are good games. So we'll get into that next year, maybe? But for now, this is your Pokemon entry. And I think we'll say bye and see. Just keep coughing. That's what everyone wants to hear, is just me cough more and more. So we'll say goodbye. We're back in 2 weeks with another Twilight Princess. And then back in a couple of months, or a month's time, with something. But see you guys then.
Yes. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.